You guys, I know when I'm starting prep officially. Well, this is not the off-season update I planned to film, but I guess it is what it is. Hello, you guys. So I recorded a vlog. I hated it and I deleted it, and then it's just been a while. So I figured I would update you guys on everything that's going on. It's been a bit hectic lately. I'm kind of dealing with a bit of an injury, you can say. So we'll talk about that. I guess we'll talk about prep starting in a bit, and all of that fun stuff. So injury first. I don't even like to call it an injury. I've had hip issues since I was 14. So it's been nagging me here and there always. And then deep in prep, and then the past few months specifically, pushing weight, trying to grow deep in my off season, I've just been getting a lot of SI joint pain and lower back pain and just nagging aches here and there in my hips. So it's like my SI joint pain got progressively worse because just pushing weights, doing glutes, 3 times a week is a lot on the body. So I just got dry needling done last week, and I have a ton more range in my hip. What was happening is my pelvis and my back weren't playing nice together. So when I tried to do an extension movement, it would jam instead of everything move separately. So I have a lot more range. I'm seeing a lot more muscle in areas I hadn't because of that. So I'm super thankful. Kind of been doing a deload the past, I would say 2 weeks with that. It's been really rough mentally, feeling like I'm taking a step back, but this is probably the least pain that I've had in a while. So super thankful on that. Dan's been super understanding in my programming and working with me on adjusting things. I talked with a good friend that does bodywork type of stuff, and then I have a physical therapist doing my dry needling and helping as well. So I have a whole team trying to fix all that. And it also explains why I really struggled this year with my front pose always looking the same, because my hips don't want to let me rotate always, and because of my issues, I really couldn't get into the same position always depending on how my hips were feeling. So fingers crossed this should open that up so that I can get into more front pose positions, since the fit model front pose is really, really hard with my hips and lack of mobility there versus, bikini posing. So I had plans for shows, and my coach Dan and I were like, oh, we need to get a game plan for this, And I kind of went in with other ideas, and I was like, hey, I know you don't want to do da-da-da-da-da, but what about this other thing that completely changes our timeline and adds in a bunch of other hurdles to go over? And I tell him that hours after we talk about the original plans and needing to get it on paper, and he's like, oh my god. But everything's in a really good place. My food intake's good. My output is really low. So we're in a good place. We're just gonna wrap up off season and then ease into a prep. I don't know that I want to share exactly plans yet. I don't know. I'm in a bit of a weird headspace with it. I'm super excited, obviously, but I don't know. I'm going to keep this to myself for a little bit about when prep starts. So I'm super pumped, though. Super, super excited. I think I made a lot of changes, specifically on my legs and lower body. So I'm excited to see how that looks. My legs have grown a ton, it appears. That was really somewhere I missed. Upper body just filled back out, and then glutes. My hips is part of the issues I've had with glutes. So I think that will help a lot with having more fullness and continuing to round out that lower area of the glute. So fingers crossed. Just going to keep up with that and my physical therapy and rehab exercises and all of that good stuff. But we're thinking with everything. So I am 7 pounds heavier than my first show of this year. And then I am 14 pounds heavier than Junior USA. So we're thinking my stage weight's probably going to be somewhere between the two. So we're thinking it's going to be 8 to 10 pounds, which isn't bad. Not bad to lose. And my body typically likes to lose weight. So I'm super excited. I kept in a good spot this off season. I really just focused on getting quality food in, just really pushing hard in the gym to get that muscle and be able to build my metabolism back up. So I'm super pumped. I don't know. I'm excited. We literally got on a call today about this. So it's just super fresh in my mind, and I'm so excited. Jay's excited. It's just going to be such a good time. I cannot wait for it. And I cannot wait. I will share my whole prep with you guys. I'm just going to keep the first little bit probably just to me. Just I need that little bit for my mind and soul. And then I will, of course, bring you guys along and tell you the whole process. But that is all for a quick update for now. I will talk to you guys later, and prep is coming.